Hi Jody Creative, welcome back to class. So we are going to be making this face cap scarf you're seeing right here on your screen. It's a very simple tutorial and it's very easy to make. So if this is something you know you would love to learn, you have to watch this video to the end. And if you have not subscribed, please do well to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell. Let's get right into the class. Welcome back. So this is the material we are going to be using for this simple tutorial we are about to make. And this is a lycra material. It's a very stretchy fabric, as you can see in the video, and this is a carry board to make the brim of your cap. You can also use Mako if you cannot get carry board. It's just that Mako is very thick, so I prefer carry board because carry board is little lighter than Mako. So on this piece of paper we are going to be using it to draft our face cap brim. So let's set that aside and just start with the brim of the cap. Let's draft it first. So the first thing you're going to do is to take your mannequin or your head, and just go ahead and measure it the way you're seeing on the video, from one ear to the other ear. So whatever you get, it might be the same thing with this and it might not be the same thing. So whatever you have, just minus half inches from it. Here I have 11.5 and I've just minus half inches from it. So when you're done minusing your half inches, you can also minus 1 inch if you don't want to minus half inches. It's actually optional and you can use everything you get. So it's optional, just do what you like. So the next thing is to get your pattern paper, place it on fold. It's very advisable for you to first draft it on paper, so that because the what's it called is very strong. The carry board is strong, so it's better you draft it on your paper before you transfer it to the carry board. So I placed the measurement I got from my head, then you go up by 5 inches, then you just connect it just the way you're seeing it on the video. You just connect it to the 5 inches. You get it here. So you just connect it. So when you're done connecting, the next thing is to go up from that point, from the down of the paper. You go up by 2.5 inches. Go up by 2.5 inches just to create that balance in front of the cap. This is just to create that balance in front of the cap. So you connect it also to that 5 inches of the length of 5 inches. So the length is 5 inches. The width also is 5 inches. So you just cut it out, and you also cut out that 2.5 inches we connected. You have your brim pattern. So your brim pattern for the face cap is ready. It's as simple as that. Then before you go, make sure you check from that brim, that's that curved part, check and make sure you have your 11 inches. Remember, we use 11 inches. What we measured for the head is 11.5, but we minus 5 that's half inches, so we have 11 inches remaining. So make sure you have 11 inches. Measure around and make sure you have exactly 11 inches. If it's more than 11 inches, just take it out the way you're seeing on the video. Just take it out. Whatever is remaining, just gently curve it out. Just curve it out so that you have that exact 11 inches for the front of the cap. So that's if yours is 11 inches or mine is 11 inches. I would advise you measure yours so that you will be sure of what you are getting. Right. So when you are done with that, you just place your pattern on your, either you are using carry board, either you are using Mako, either you are using straw board, whichever board you are using, just go ahead and place your pattern on it and sketch it out just the way you are seeing, and then you cut. It's as simple as that. Nothing serious here. So when you're done with that, you pick your fabric and you lay it on your table. I'm using the leftover fabric, so please ignore the pieces. It's a leftover fabric. Okay, so you just spread your fabric. You don't need much. You don't need much fabric. You can use 1 yard to make up to two, yes, 2 or 3 thereabout, because you don't need much. So just go ahead and fold your fabric into 2 and measure 22 inches. Measure 22 inches. 22 inches. That's for the wideness, and that wideness is the stretchy part. That's if your fabric has the part that is stretchy and the part that is not stretchy. So 22 inches by 14 inches. The length I have is 14 inches. The wideness is 22 inches. So you measure 5 inches from the end of your marking. That's 5 inches. So from that 5 inches, you will just connect it curvely. You will curve your hand and just connect it to meet the end. Now remember that this fabric is folded into 2. So this 22 inches, if we open it up, we have 44 inches. So take note of that. It is folded. The fabric is folded. Right. Okay, so you just go ahead and cut. So when you're done cutting, you take it, you bring in your brim that you cut. So you can see I've cut it, and I've also cut it with a fabric. So you take it to your sewing machine and you just stitch it all the way around. You can see there's allowance on it round, 1/2 inches allowance round. So you just go ahead and sew. So when you're done sewing, cut out any excess. Remember, you're sewing 1/2 inches. So you just go ahead and cut out the excess, and make sure while cutting you did not cut your seam. So just cut gently, and if you don't want to cut it, you can also leave it. It's optional, right? Okay, so you go ahead and turn it to the right side and then insert your board. Just go ahead and fix it inside and arrange it properly and make sure it's neat. Make sure it's neat. So when you're done with that, you can just go ahead also and just top stitch it. Yes, to keep it in place so that it does not keep moving around. So just go ahead and top stitch it just the way we did here, and then trim off any excess you have. That's if you have too much excess, just go ahead and trim it up. But while trimming, make sure you leave 1/2 inches allowance that you are going to use to sew it back to the cap. Right, so you fold it into 2 and get the midpoint, the middle of the brim. You get the middle, you notch it. So when you're done notching, you go ahead and get the midpoint of the cap. So we have the curve edge and we have the straight part. So it's that straight part you will fold into 2, not the part that is curved. The straight part, you also get the midpoint, then you connect it to the other midpoint of the brim, right? Then you pin, take it to your sewing machine, and you stitch it all the way to this side and also to the other side. Make sure you pin so that you get a neat stitch, right? So you just stitch it. Yeah, so when you're done stitching, this is what you're going to have. So you can weave that middle part, as in where you stitch, you can weave it all the way down, or you stitch it, right? Okay, so when you're done, you open it up like so, like the way you're seeing on the video. You open it up this way. Then from that brim, the end of that brim, you mark out 2 inches. So you curve it to the end, and then you mark out another 2 inches from the other side of the brim. Also, you curve it round like that. You see it. The back of the cap, make sure you have just like 1 inch left there. So when you are done, you are going to pleat on that mark. You pleat it, you take it to your sewing machine, you start pleating. You'll be pleating and you'll be pleating till you get to the other side of your marking. I hope you are making sense. So if you don't understand this part, just go ahead again, rewatch the video, you will get it. So you can see, you make sure you mark it, make sure your mark is visible, so that when you are pleating, you'll be seeing and you go across that mark. And remember, it's not straight, it's curved. Now this is it when we're done. So you go ahead, if you want to put elastic to make it more firm at the back, you can go ahead and do that. And this is exactly what we did here. You just go, we put I cut out 5 inches elastic, 5 inches elastic, and I went ahead to fix it. So you just take it to your sewing machine, put your elastic on it, that's that 5 inches elastic. Then you start sewing, lock it very well. Then you stretch your elastic. You have to stretch it very well. You stretch it very well. Then you start stitching on that same line. That same line you stitched earlier, that gathers you made, on the same line, you start stitching on it. Yeah? You just go ahead and stitch and drag the elastic till you get to the end of the gathers. So when you get to the end, you just tuck the edge of the elastic into the fabric and then just stitch on it. It's very simple, very easy. In fact, this cap, within 15 minutes, you are done with it. You are done with it. So as you can see, this is it. That's the elastic at the back. It makes it more firmer. Yeah, so this is our finished look, and it's looking nice and beautiful. So if you have watched this video to this point, if you have not subscribed, what are you still waiting for? I'll see you in my next video.